Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Ian. Welcome back to the channel, Ian the Reader. Today I have a super fun video for you guys, and I have some lovely guests here. Well, one lovely and then Jake. I'm just
Wow.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Super excited to have you guys on today. Thank you so much for joining me for this. This video is going to be a TBR game for me, but first off, let my guests introduce themselves. So y'all take it away.
Ladies first.
Hi, I'm Stacey, and I newly just created a channel. It's called the Chapter Conundrum, and I am Jake's wife. You've probably seen me around on his channel.
And I am Jake, apparently not the pretty one. And my channel name is the Bookish Drummer, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. So
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great. This is a kind of thing I've been wanting to do for a while. I've seen quite a few videos like this from like Kyle, from Read by Kyle. He's been doing it with Jake Bishop over on a couple different people's channels. So I've been wanting to do that. But yeah, I'm really excited to have you guys on. It's perfect timing too now that Stacey has a channel. I'm really excited. So it's the Bookish Drummer versus the Chapter Conundrum. All right, so just to kind of explain what's going to go on here, I have asked Stacey and Jake to both pick 3 books for me to read, ideally books that they have read and loved themselves. You can't just pick a book by my favorite author that you haven't read already. So yeah, it has to be a book that they recommend to me that they think I'll enjoy, and this is a game. So the goal is for one of them to give better recommendations than the other, and how we're going to be doing this is, yeah, that's the goal, right? Essentially, I'm going to read all 6 of the books, and at the end, I'm going to average the star rating for each one, and whoever has the higher average wins. I don't know what you win. Maybe I'll buy you a book off of your Amazon wish list. That sounds good. So there you go. There are stakes.
The stakes are high.
Yeah, that's right. So
yes and no, because if you get it for one of us, you're really getting it for both of us.
That's actually true. We're gonna pretend like the stakes are high.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if Jake wins, you could get him like some kind of Murakami stuff. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll make sure to pick a book that only one of you would be interested in. It's perfect.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let them reveal to me back and forth what their selections are. I have written down some guesses, which I guess I'll go ahead and reveal right now, and we'll see how close I get. So I had a very long list for each of you on what I thought you were going to recommend.
Okay, I'm not going
to. I don't know if I'm going to get any of these right. So I do have one hint. Jake did tell me he did pick a Stephen King book for me. So which is obvious. I mean, yeah. So he's one of my favorite authors, obviously one of Jake's favorite authors. So my guess, and I have 2 written down. You said it was one that you think I'm going to enjoy. All right, I'm going to guess Different Seasons. That's going to be my guess. I almost said Revival, and then I also had Firestarter written down. I don't know if any of those are right, but that's my Stephen King guess. And then I know your favorite author is George R.R. Martin. So I put George R.R. Martin book because I've read A Game of Thrones, and I liked that a lot. But I've also read Night Flyers, and I didn't care for it as much. So you might be trying to get me to. I know, but you might be recommending me a book that is by him that I haven't read. So there's that. And then kind of a curveball pick, I picked You by Carolyn Kepnes because I know that you both really like that series, and I haven't read any of those. So those are my Jake guesses. My Stacey guesses, I picked a Taylor Jenkins Reid book because I know you both have read quite a bit of Taylor Jenkins Reid and enjoy, but I remember seeing you picking some books that you wanted Jake to read by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I've read and enjoyed 3 of her books, but that's only a portion. So that's guess number 1. Guess number 2 is I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells, because I've heard both of you talk about those, and you kind of gave me a hint as well because you said one book would be really good for the readathon. And that's relatively short, and also it has kind of a funny title, so that was kind of like because it works for one of the Battle of the Bands readathon prompts. And then my third guess, kind of a curveball with this one also, is the 12 Kings of Sharakai. I think that's how you say it, maybe. By Bolio, or however you say his name. I don't know. I don't remember. Bradley P. something. Yeah. So those are my official guesses. I had a long list, and I'm intrigued to see what you guys picked me, but we'll see if I got any right. So yeah, y'all go ahead. All right, what's my first book?
Well, one of the books that you thought Stacey would pick for you was actually one of my picks.
Oh, okay. I am not a serial killer. Okay, I had a feeling one of you would pick it, and I actually went back and forth on who it would be. But okay, perfect. I'm excited.
Yes.
Awesome. So, what is this book about? I have no idea.
So basically, it's about a boy, a 15-year-old boy named John Cleaver, and he is sort of a sociopath, and he's kind of obsessed with serial killers and learning all about them. And it's almost Dexter-esque in a way, where he kind of has this set of rules where he's like, where he tries not to get too close to people because he gets the feeling that he might want to kill people. But then kind of the hook of the book is that people are starting to get murdered in his small town. So there's possibly a serial killer. So he's trying to figure all that out too. And it's just one of my favorite characters. So I really want you to read it.
And he works at the local mortuary.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
So he's
I like
around
that angle.
all the time.
Yeah, and he can't really escape this whole murder in the hometown situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he seems like a little bit of a creepy dude. So that's cool because I love Dexter the show, and then I've read the first Dexter book and really enjoyed it. And then there's also this YA series that I loved when I was in high school called I Hunt Killers. And it's really good because I don't know if y'all have read those, but the main character's dad was a serial killer. And so everyone kind of looks at him and is like, are you a serial killer or whatever? And so those are really good. I recommend those. But very excited about this, and I'll definitely read it next month. So cool. Good pick. All right.
The audio, too.
Yeah, the audio.
Okay, I actually do. I saw Hoopla has the audio for it, so I'm set. Yeah. Stacey, what's your first pick?
So my first pick is one of my all-time favorite thrillers, and it's a sci-fi thriller, and it is The Passengers by John Mars.
I am so excited.
Do you know anything about
this book? Yeah, I do actually, because and this is actually a really good one because I've actually really been wanting to read this one. I've only read one John Mars book. That's his most popular, the one. I've read that. And my library has a ton of his audiobooks, but they don't have The Passengers. So I kept not reading it. So now I have an excuse. So perfect. Tell me about it, though.
So just to preface, I also read the one and I liked it, but had some logical issues with it. This one I loved.
Awesome.
So I don't want to get too into it since it is a thriller, but the main premise is that it's a near future sci-fi where there are self-driving cars, and one day 8 different passengers or sets of passengers get locked into these self-driving cars, and they're hacked and they're set on a collision course with each other. And sort of the hacker does this thing where he wants the public to decide like who lives, who dies.
Very interesting.
You gradually learn more about the characters, why they were potentially chosen to be part of this hack. And then you also following the point of view of a character who's kind of on the outside watching this all take place.
Fantastic. Okay. I knew about the self-driving cars and they were like trapped on like a collision course. I didn't know about the whole like public has to decide kind of thing. So I like that. But yeah, it's funny. I had heard about this book and then it came back to my mind because my wife and I were talking about some article we read about like self-driving cars and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it reminded me of that. So this is perfect. Very good picks, both of you. I don't know which one of those I'll end up liking better because they both are very kind of like unique thriller-ish kind of books. I like both. Okay, good picks, guys. Good picks. Okay, great.
It's going to come down to whether you're more in the character mood or a plot mood, because I want to say Serial Killer is more of the character book and Passengers is more of the plot book.
Right, and then the killer one, that one is the first in the series, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So interesting. Okay, cool. All right. I'm very excited. These are 2 very good picks. So awesome. So I don't know. I might give myself half a point for guessing I'm not a serial killer. I got the first one wrong though. So okay. All right. Jake, what is your second book for me?
So let's go with the King book. And you did mention it. It's not Different Seasons and it's not Revival. It is Firestarter.
Dadgummit, I should have gone with Firestarter. I'm so mad I didn't say that one because I actually right before y'all logged on, I was looking at your Goodreads and Firestarter was listed as like one of your favorite books on the webpage of it. And I was like, oh, it might be Firestarter. Dadgummit, so close. All right, so tell me about this one.
So it's one of King's earlier books he wrote in like the early 80s. And if you don't know, it's about a little girl who has the ability to light stuff on fire with her mind. And it follows a father-daughter duo, and they're on the run from a secret company, and they're trying to get a hold of her to like experiment on her, and it's just really good. I don't want to go too much into detail because it's just a lot of fun to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Oh man. So this is actually one that I've been meaning to read for a while. One of my earlier videos was a Stephen King TBR for like 2022, I think, and this was on there, and I still haven't read it. So perfect. Very excited about this. I feel like it's a good summer book too, like fire starter.
I think you really like it.
Okay, cool. I'm very excited. So good pick. All right, Stacey, what's your second book for me?
Gotta find it in the pile. All right, so you were right. It is a Taylor Jenkins Reid book.
Yes.
And I want to go with Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I was waffling whether or not to do this one or After I Do, but this one has a 4.42 average rating on Goodreads. So I'm like, well, how can you argue with that?
Can't.
So part of the reason I was waffling is because I read this like before it was even popular. It was very new at the time. So it was like early 2018 and I don't remember a whole lot about it. But I do remember it being like outside my normal wheelhouse of reading and loving it anyway. And I feel like it's just one of those kind of books for everyone who reads it anyways.
I mean, Taylor Jenkins Reid is definitely one of my favorite authors. My personal favorite still Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't know if you've read that one, Ian.
I have read that one. Yeah, I really like that one. So Malibu Rising, I liked a little bit more. That was my first Taylor Jenkins read. And I think, it was really, really good. And part of it might have been that like I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. It was my first Taylor Jenkins read, and people liked it, but didn't seem to like it as much as Evelyn Hugo or Daisy Jones. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. So this is a strong pick because I feel like people love this book. So
they do, but I mean, in a way, it's like pressure because everyone loves it. So
the
you
hype.
don't one out.
Yeah, could it be overhyped? I guess we'll see. So.
Yep.
Okay, good pick. Good pick. All right, so I got that one. Check.
Also, I was going to say, so I noticed when I was looking on your Goodreads at which Taylor Jenkins Reid you had read, you pretty much had like of the three you read and your ratings on them, they were basically the same in terms of ranking of how I would rank the ones that you read.
Strategic.
So I also didn't really like One True Loves that much. Daisy Jones was good for me, but not as good as the others. And then Malibu Rising I really liked, but I didn't love it. And this is one that I loved. So I'm hoping you have the same experience.
Yeah, we'll see. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Okay, awesome. All right, Jake, your final pick.
So this one is interesting because it's not an author that you mentioned. It's not fantasy, sci-fi, thriller, or horror, but you have read this author before.
Okay.
And it was good for the readathon.
Okay.
Any guesses based off of that?
Oh, no. And it's not one I messaged you about?
No.
Oh, man. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't have anything. I'm blanking. Wait. No, you said it's an author I've read before, because I was going to say I just picked up this book, and I know you liked it.
What is it?
The Alchemy of Masks and Mirrors.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. No, I don't know. You're going to have to tell me.
It's Notes from the Midnight Driver.
Oh, I did not guess that. Dadgummit. I thought about a Jordan Sonnick Blick book, but no. Okay.
I figured this was a safe pick because you really liked the other two that you read by him.
It is a safe pick.
I also gave it 5 stars.
Okay, that's good. And actually, when I was in high school, my high school librarian recommended that book to me. That's the only Jordan Sonnick Blick I'd ever heard of, and I didn't read it. So you've got the librarian recommendation on your side. So yeah, but what is it about though? I actually don't know anything about it.
So Notes from the Midnight Driver is about a 16-year-old boy who gets in trouble with the law, and he has to go do community service at this hospital. And basically what he is assigned to do is just kind of read to this like really old guy. And of course, the 16-year-old doesn't want anything to do with this guy. But over the course of the book, they slowly start to build a friendship. And the 16-year-old is also a guitar player because Sonnick Blick usually likes to have kids with like musician traits. And he's practicing for this band. And it's just everything that I loved about Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie is also in this book. And also the character from that book makes an appearance in this book.
That's fun.
Okay. An Easter egg. And yeah, it's just a fantastic book. And it's definitely great for the readathon.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice little middle grade book. I love that. Yeah, and Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie was really good, as well as the sequel. So it's a solid pick too. Okay. I like it. And you guys have done a pretty good job so far picking like not too long books as well. So that was my question, because I almost said Outlander for you, Stacey, because I do like a good historical fiction, and I don't mind romance either. So I know you really like those. I was like, maybe she'll pick that, but it might have been riskier.
But I thought about doing something like 12 Kings and Sherekai, but I was like, I don't want to make him read like a 600-page fantasy book.
Right. Well, hey, I mean, I read those often, but yeah, that was, I shouldn't have written that down. All right. Well, it's all right. It's good recommendations either way. So, all right, final one. Stacey, what you got for me?
So the final one is one that we don't own physically.
Okay.
And Jake has not read it, and I want to make him read it too. So maybe y'all can buddy read it.
Hey, okay.
It is Ogres by Adrian Tchaikovsky.
Oh, that's actually really funny, because I thought Jake might pick an Adrian Tchaikovsky for me, because he's been wanting to read one a month. So, okay, very cool. And there's another one I don't know what it's about really. So tell me about it.
So I don't want to tell either of you too much about it, because the joy of this book is sort of peeling back the layers and finding out what's going on as you read.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the joke in my review that ogres are like onions, because they have from the Shrek reference.
Very nice.
But the basic setup is that you have, like, it's a dystopian, and you have this family and their landlords coming around, and it's not great. That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all I get. Okay.
That's it.
It's not great. Read it.
The situation is not great. The book is fantastic.
Okay. Solid recommendation. Wow, this went in some directions I did not expect. Very good.
That's a novella.
Well, I figured that was implied based on the fact that it was good for the readathon.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty short. I didn't know how short, but okay. So, but it's over 150 pages though?
159.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh man, you guys both gave me very solid recommendations, and I actually I think I will. I hope and I think I will really enjoy all of them. I have been a little bit stingy this year with my 5-star reads. I haven't had too many, like as far as like new books go. So we'll see. I could use another 5-star though. So yeah, this is good. My prediction, if I had to guess, I think both of you will have 1 5-star.
Okay.
I don't think any more than that, but we'll see. We'll see.
I'm super stingy with 5 stars too, and 2 of my picks I gave the full 5 to, and 1 was a 4.5. So
okay, that's good. And I think if I had to guess, okay, I think 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo will be my 5-star from you, Stacey.
Okay.
And Jake, I think it's probably going to be Firestarter. I bet I'm going to like it a lot, because I've heard really good things about it. Obviously, I love Stephen King, so it's a pretty safe bet. But yeah, okay. Cool. Well, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being on this video with me. I think I'll want to do, if y'all are okay with it, do a wrap-up reveal video at the end as well. See who won, and you can pick your grand prize. It'll be great. So yeah, I'm excited about it. But yeah, my goal is to try to get these done over the summer. Since we do have the readathon coming up, I'm not going to force myself to try to get them done in a specific month. But a lot of these do work pretty well, I think. And it's funny, I had a feeling one of you was going to pick I'm Not a Serial Killer. So I actually already put it on my graphic for the readathon. So yeah. Nice. Just in case. So yeah, but I'm going to give myself the rest of the summer to try to read all of these. We'll see how fast I go. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for being on, and best of luck to you both.
And if you don't get to them in summer, some of them are like good for spooky season too. We've got some.
That's true.
So
that's true. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, all right. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to go and subscribe to the Bookish Drummer and the Chapter Conundrums. They're both fantastic. And yeah, we'll see who wins. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next video. Bye.